Unit 8, Analysis. When you are successful and the new habit feels normal, it is time to create an anchor. The anchor is valuable for those situations in which you threaten to lose your new habit. I once created the habit of seeing beauty in every human being. So when I felt the habit was mine, I bought myself a geode, a stone that can be found around volcanoes. Geodes are rough on the outside, but if you break them in two, inside there is a lovely cave filled with shining crystals. So I put the geode on my desk, and after a year or so, I had had a row with a person, and I was really angry. I came into my office and threw my bag on the ground. "What a bad person," I said out loud, and immediately my eye was drawn like a magnet to the geode, and I realized that here I had a person with a very rough outside, but somewhere inside there must be something beautiful. Practice. 1. Ellen Langer and her colleagues studied the conditions under which people engage in mindless conformity. To 40 secretaries at a New York university, they sent a memo that said, "This paper is to be returned immediately to room 238 through interoffice mail." Like almost all other memos at this university, this one was unsigned. Note that this is a pretty silly request. If the person who sent the memo wanted it, why did he or she send it in the first place? Langer and her colleagues hypothesized that secretaries would go ahead and return the memo without much thinking, because they would follow the norm that says, "Do what memos tell you to do." They were right. 90% of the secretaries dutifully returned the memo to room 238. 2. Many teachers' analogies are used to describe structural similarities. For instance, a molecule of gas is like a rubber ball, an artery is like a hose, and rock strata are like cake layers. Teachers often assume that the students understand the sense in which these comparisons are made. In the first example, the teacher has in mind the idea that a gas molecule is elastic, and when it collides with another molecule or the wall of its container, it will rebound with about the same speed and energy that it had before the collision. Unless students have this relationship explained to them, some may understandably visualize the molecule as just a round object, while others may think of it as a moving elastic sphere. That is, they may pay more attention to the analogy's structural attributes and too little attention to the interaction effects. 3. Few people would dispute that in the 18th and 19th centuries, Europe and especially Great Britain dominated the world culturally, politically, and economically. Britain was the crucible of the Industrial Revolution, and its military forces secured the colonies as surely as the English language invaded their cultures. When Queen Victoria ascended to the throne in 1837, she presided over the largest empire in history, the empire on which the sun never set. If you had gone to her court in 1850 and suggested that this empire would be over within a generation, you would have been laughed out of the building. And yet it was true. By the end of World War I in 1918, the empire was fatally wounded, and by the time I was born in 1950, it was a memory.